Hello, welcome to the Redmen TV. It's Twitter reaction time. Liverpool losing 1-0 to Chelsea. Your reactions. Let's get straight into it. At Lewis LFC 745. Solanki is a little bit crap. Hashtag match reaction. He's not put in good performances this season. I think, he's gone through an entire season pretty much without scoring a goal for us. I think he's come on probably, is it 20 odd times now, maybe 25 plus times. He's had a couple of starts here and there, but he's not really done it, obviously because he's not scored a goal. But there's a reason he's still at the club. There's a reason Steven Gerrard's supposed to be interested in him, in taking him on loan to Rangers next season. There's a reason that he got player of the tournament at the Under-20s World Cup, and that reason is that he's a good footballer. Yes, he hasn't had the opportunities thus far this season, but did any lad really cover themselves in glory out there today and was singling out a 21-year-old striker who's struggling already? Look, I don't know whether he's going to make it at Liverpool Football Club because I don't know whether he can become as good as Roberto Firmino is right now. Firmino's playing at an unbelievably high level. He's probably playing at a world-class level, and Solanki is learning his trade. But, from what I've seen of him, I would say that he's probably not going to end up being as good as Roberto Firmino in the way that we want our number 9 to perform. But that's not to say that he's crap. That's not to say that he won't go on to have a good career elsewhere. We've seen players over the years come and play football for Liverpool and be crap, but they've gone on and performed well in Spain in recent years. Players who couldn't take a corner and yet have been banging in 20 goals in La Liga and stuff. So just because he doesn't suit our style of football right now doesn't mean that he will always not suit our style of football. Bobby Firmino's made that number 9 his own, and there's not many players in world football who you'd think could play the way that Bobby Firmino plays. So I just think it's a bit harsh to be singling out Solanki, especially in a game where he's had probably 15 minutes. And we've had the likes of Mo Salah today, who's had near 90 odd minutes and didn't put in a performance either, you know what I mean? And listen, I'm not having a go at Salah. He's had an incredible season. He's an incredible player. He's a world-class player. He's one of the top 3 players in the world easily right now. But it was just there for drawing a little bit of comparison. I hope you understand my position on it. Anyway, at Sunday League 9, Aaron says, Klopp keeps saying how important these league games are. The performances shown suggest otherwise. And yeah, I suppose you can look at it that way, can't you? And I'm sure a lot of people will do. I like to take a little more of a what I think is a more well-rounded view of it. And, I can't take every game as it comes, and I can't look at it and think about that Chelsea game without thinking about what the lads put in on the pitch at the weekend. And I can't look at the last Premier League game and forget about what the lads did against Roma, because these lads are all playing every bloody game at the moment. And yes, they're tiring, but you know what? They've played how many minutes of football? It's a long, hard, arduous season, and our squad is threadbare. Now, the performances haven't been there. We should have wrapped up top 4 much earlier than the final day of the season against Brighton, where we might not even wrap it up. But they're tired. They've tried the best. They've gone for it. We threw... if Jurgen Klopp didn't want these players to go for it today, he doesn't take Nathaniel Klein off. He puts Jordan Henderson in midfield and takes Trent off. He doesn't drop Milner in and throw an extra forward on, for example. So he wanted to go for it. He thought Chelsea were there today, and on another day they might have been, but they stood up, they played well, and fair play to them for that. At MHD, Carl says, we missed Ox's runs at defenders from midfield. We missed a lot from that midfield, Again, I said it in my match reaction, Kante, Fabregas and Bakayoko seem to have bags more energy than our midfield, be it Trent, Gini and Milner, or was it, or when Henderson comes on and he's playing alongside Wijnaldum and Milner. They just seem to have more legs than us today, and it was frustrating performance. We were playing balls too slowly, we were taking our time on things, we were trying to work space, but they played really well and covered those spaces and weren't allowing us to knock balls over the top, which is what we were able to do against Roma a couple of weeks ago, and even, to be fair, in the second leg as well. We missed those driving runs from Ox. You're exactly right, and Mane's able to do that. He's able to run at the run with the ball at his feet at the defence, but then you've only got 2 options ahead of him. You don't have that third option where if Ox runs at that sort of defence, then you've got Mane on one side, Firmino down the centre or Salah to choose from. When Mane's doing it, you've just got Bobby and you've just got Salah in front of him. It makes it more difficult, of course it does. So we massively miss him, I 100% agree with that. At Brown Scouser, Adam, if we bottle top 4 and lose the Champions League final, and then that face, you know that emoji. Yeah, best not to think about that. Best to just think about smashing Brighton, to be fair. Yeah, you're just going to make me nervous, man. And I can't be nervous for an entire week. At _ Fletcher _ this team has been a disgrace in the league for the past month. Top 4 place should be signed and sealed. Again, I don't think they've been a disgrace. I think there's a reason for the performances that we've had. But I do agree with you. Top 4 place should be signed and sealed. It should be. But if we go a little bit stronger in those weekend Premier League games, do we make it to the Champions League final? We can have our cake and eat it the way we've gone. And ultimately, I'm a greedy bastard, as you can tell by my belly there. I want my cake and I want to eat it. I want the Champions League final and I want top 4. I didn't just want the top 4. So I understand why Klopp's done what he's done. At Ooh You Beauty, still confident of getting Champions League next season, but it's clear that to get to the next level, this team needs to learn how to get the job done when they're not at their best. All the home draws coming back to haunt us. Yeah, we've had too many draws this season, both at home and away from home. Admittedly, a lot of them have come early on in the season. It wasn't until we started playing those 2 games a week a few weeks ago, when the Champions League came back in, was it February or something, that we started to make draws in the league. Earlier on in the season, we didn't really take advantage of the situations, and I fully agree with you. And let's not forget, we didn't have Van Dijk back then as well, when we had a lot of our home Premier League draws. You know, it's gutting, of course it is. We do need to learn how to put teams away when we're not playing at our best. We've done it a couple of times this season, but great sides do it all the time, and we can't be considered a truly great side until we turn those draws into wins in the Premier League. So you're right. At 1509 Deku, awful. One of the worst games all season. No fight, no desire. Play like this against Madrid and we lose 6-0. I actually agree with you. If we do play like that against Madrid, we will lose 6-0. And there's a very good chance that we can play at our best and lose against Madrid. We've got a week now. We've got a full week to recover before the game against Brighton. And then there's 2 weeks after that. These lads need to be rested and recuperated for Brighton. And then they need to get into Champions League final focus, mentality, whatever that is. We'll be better than that next week. We'll be better than that in the Champions League final. We will, I promise. At Eskimorava, signings needed. Chelsea can bring on William. We have Solanki coming on, looking tired, on to Brighton. You're right, our squad, we've known it all season long. You know, there's nobody on the bench there that you think's changing a game. You know, Klavan, Moreno, Woodburn, Henderson, Solanki, Ings. They're not the players that Chelsea can bring on. They're not the players that Manchester United can bring on, Manchester City. They've all got better squads than us. We know that. We will have to sort that out if we want to make a challenge on multiple fronts. We're just not equipped to do it yet. But what we are equipped to do is put 11 players on the field and beat teams. If we're playing 1 game a week with our 11 players, most of the time our 11 players will win. It doesn't work like that though when you want to be a big club, when you want to play in European football, when you want to win FA Cups and league titles. You have to have a bigger squad, and Liverpool need a bigger squad. You know, Emre Can's out at the moment, Lallana's out at the moment, Oxlade-Chamberlain's out at the moment, you know, Matip's out at the moment. I mean, I've got injuries all over the field. Thank goodness we haven't had an injury to the front 3, because that would really hinder us. At Darren Cusack or Hangover Sutton, a fair play to Chelsea. Rudiger was a man mountain today too. Mark Salah out of the game. We still have it in our hands, and I think we can get over the line next week. I agree with you. I thought Rudiger was brilliant today. I think he probably should have got a couple of yellow cards maybe if I'm being a little bit cheeky and stuff, but I thought he was brilliant. I thought he did handle Salah really well. He got really close to him. Salah wasn't able to turn him, wasn't able to get in behind him. He had a really good game, well said. And final one, Rob hates social media, at Rob hates social media, I guess. What's done is done. Let's bash Brighton, then head to Kiev. Fully agreed. Let's bash Brighton, head to Kiev and win the Champions League. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. Leave us your thoughts, of course, in the comment section below. If you're here and you're new, subscribe to the Redmen TV. We're nearly at 250,000 subscribers. We'll be here for Brighton. We'll be there for Kiev. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on the Redmen TV.